Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger, and this is After Immortal Episode 10. And this episode is titled A Fresh Cup of Joe. I've been thinking about doing one of these on Samoa Joe for a little while, and I was going to hold it off, but I got a request earlier from Mr. Killer Relic 2008 asking me to do a video on basically he asked me, can I book the resurrection of Samoa Joe for the next video. And earlier today I released another edition of the series, so I figured what the hell, I go ahead and give it a little thought and just kind of go at what the idea was I had for this. So again, if you're new to the After Immortal series, I believe that at whatever pay-per-view the Immortal storyline finally comes to an end, it should be a pay-per-view of finality. All the feuds in TNA should come to an end at that pay-per-view. Immortal's defeated, Dixie Carter's back in control of the company, and all is right with the world. And I believe that after that pay-per-view, they need to come out in the very next episode of Impact, ready with all new, fresh feuds and storylines. And this series are just some suggestions that I put out. So, since this does involve some sort of fantasy booking, I am going to need to give my disclaimer. I am in no way saying that I can write or book wrestling better than the writers or bookers of any wrestling organization. These opinions are mine and mine alone, and only represent something that I would personally find entertaining. Alright, so, Samoa Joe. A lot of people feel that Joe has fallen in stature over the past year or so. Yeah, I mean, he is a former world champion, and he hasn't been in a world title match in a very, very long time. He's been preoccupied with other feuds. Personally, I think TNA was just keeping Joe on TV just because they knew people would complain about him not being on TV. I think this was one of those times where they really didn't have a storyline for him. They wanted to focus on some other storylines and wanted to just take him off TV for a little while. But they knew the internet would just go lose their minds about Samoa Joe not being on TV, so they just came up with something for him to do. I think it would have been better just leave him off TV and just say, hey, we're doing some other storylines and we'll bring you back later. It happens. Again, TNA only has 2 hours a week. They got a lot of storylines to fill. There's not enough time for everybody. You know what? Sometimes I don't think it's so bad that Samoa Joe be off TV for a couple of months while they push some other guys. Samoa Joe can come back as just as over as he was pretty easily. And it's talking about sort of rebuilding Joe. I don't think it would be that hard to do. But this is just some thoughts I have on it. I'm going to put Samoa Joe back in the world title picture. I'm going to reestablish his credibility, and in the process, possibly introduce some new wrestlers into TNA. But of course, this is only if they either get more television time in the future or release some talent, which they probably will eventually. All right. So we have Samoa Joe come out, and he's scheduled for a match. You just say Samoa Joe will be in action tonight. He comes out, he gets on the mic, and he does a promo. And we're going to turn Joe heel with this promo. Basically, he's going to trash the fans. What he's going to say is that, when he's going to say, when I first came to TNA, I went on an undefeated streak for over a year. I was an unstoppable force of destruction, and the reason why I was so unstoppable because I didn't give a damn about anyone or anything except winning. But the fans started to cheer me, and I let it get to my head, and I made the mistake of getting a bit soft. I started to care more about what the fans think and trying to please them and make them happy, and less about winning. I let myself get sidetracked with people like Jeff Jarrett and the Pope and Crimson, and I'm not going to let that happen again. From now on, it's about destruction and the World Championship. So he immediately demands that his opponent come out, and Joe proceeds to just absolutely destroy the guy in under 2 minutes. And whoever it is, it has to be a baby face or you get a jobber for the night. You can just say some dude's unlucky enough that his first match at TNA is against Joe. And, he could be an X Division guy. He could destroy, I don't know, Alex Shelley. Doesn't hurt Alex Shelley to lose to Samoa Joe. Just destroy somebody real quick. Got to be a babyface or a jobber. It can't be a heel. You can't have Joe destroy Robbie E, because that's going to make people cheer him. Although Robbie E should be a babyface, but that's a topic for a whole nother video. I want to get Joe over as a heel. I want him to beat people down, attack people from behind, use some heel tactics, combine that viciousness of Samoa Joe with the little cheating, with the little a low blow behind the ref's back, and then have him destroy a couple guys, leave them laying. Just a few weeks of Joe on Impact and on Explosion destroying people in short order will instantly get his credibility back really quickly. You need to have him on Impact and Explosion every week destroying people. Destroy a few X Division guys, take down some of your jobbers, your Rob Terrys, your Murphys, guys like that. Although they are kind of heelish, I don't really want him to beat up too many heels, but you need jobbers. You need to get a couple babyface jobbers. Bring back Sharp Boy if you need to, or a couple, a week or two. Or some tweener jobbers, doesn't matter. He just got to destroy people. Enough to get his credibility back, and it won't take long, because it really won't take long to have the crowd chanting Joe's gonna kill you again. And what also I would like to do with Joe down the line is, I think he would be good guy to lead a heel faction. Now this is gonna be well after Immortal, because I always like a good faction, but this is gonna be like the last few factions, not like Immortal and Main Event Mafia where they're trying to take control of the whole company. This is, we want to kick ass and win belts. That's it. None of this, we want to rule the company and run the whole show and take over all the professional wrestling. Fuck all that. They're gonna be a simple faction. We want to kick ass and win titles. That's what we're about. And this faction would be a heel faction of Samoan wrestlers. And the name of this faction is going to be the New Samoan Nation. I don't think there was ever an old Samoan Nation, but I like that phrase, new. It just seems to roll off the tongue for me better. The New Samoan Nation. Or you can call them NSN if you want to. Joe's going to be the leader of the group, and you'd have 2 or 3 other Samoan wrestlers with him. Who those Samoan wrestlers could be? Well, anybody that can wrestle with any bit of talent. To be honest, hang on a second. Let me take a drink of grape juice. I don't expect the Uso brothers to last too much longer in WWE. You could bring them in as a tag team. Plus, it adds to the tag team, the depleted tag team division. TNA really has to put some all this focus they're putting on the X division. I wish they would put all this focus on rebuilding the tag team division. I would much rather see better tag team X division wrestlers. But again, that's another video. Let me not get off topic. Anyway, also you got guys like Manu still around somewhere. I think the guy had more talent than he was given credit for in the WWE. I think a lot of people really trashed him when he didn't deserve it, but he's out there. I don't know if Rosie still wrestles, but maybe people that might not want to see him because he's older WWE guy. I don't know how old he is out there. If Rusty, I know of any active Samoan wrestlers out there, let me know, because I really don't know about what other Samoan wrestlers are out there working right now. I know I've heard about guys related to Rikishi. I think it's maybe like his cousin or his brother, a dude called Black Pearl or something like that. And I actually read earlier that about a Samoan wrestler in, I think, California, who's like the son of Prince IK, if you remember him from WCW. He's like the Hawaiian Prince, and then they turn him into a ripoff of the artist formerly known as Prince, and he was the artist formerly known as Prince IK. I heard like his son wrestles, and I saw like a clip of him. But anyway, of course, with wrestling, you can lie about people's race. I mean, that's always been done. They don't have to be Samoan. They just have to look close to Samoan, and then you lie. And wrestling's done that for years. Remember, Muhammad Hassan wasn't Arab. He was Italian. Yokozuna wasn't Japanese. He was Samoan. And I don't think anybody in Mexican America is actually Mexican. think one's from Canada and one's from like New York and the other one's from Texas. Are there any actual Mexicans in Mexican America? I don't think so. You can lie. That's the point I'm making. Find some people who look close to Samoan. There could be some dude from Brazil or Hawaii. There's Samoans, a lot of Samoans in Hawaii. Just you gotta look close enough to Samoa in the past, and we'll lie and we'll make up a new name for the person and call them Samoan. And just get 3 or 4 of them, and they can do a lot of beat downs and shit. And when they, when Samoa Joe, after Samoa Joe demolishes people for a month and a half or so, you send him after whoever the babyface champion is. Which I said before, when the Immortal storyline comes to an end, I think AJ Styles should be the world champion, your babyface world champion, because I think he could carry the belt for a long time as a credible champion while you build up other people. And Samoa Joe could do a program with AJ Styles, and his group could beat down AJ like every week. But AJ, be the hero, overcome the odds, and manage to beat Joe. It happens. But I don't think that rebuilding Joe is as difficult as a lot of other people want to make it out to be. Send him out there, have him destroy some people for a good month and a half, maybe 2. He'll get all his credibility back. By the end, they'll all be chanting, Joe's gonna kill you. Refresh his character with this faction thing. Let him go full blown heel, destroying people, blooding them up, and do that thing like he did to Christopher Daniels a few years back, where he blooded up Christopher Daniels and he wiped off the blood with the towel, and he started coming to the ring with the towel with Daniels' blood on it around his neck. A bunch of times. He could do some of that shit again, check my time. Alright, I'm at about 12 minutes. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's about it. This isn't as detailed as some of my other After Immortal videos, but I don't think it need to be. I really don't think that rebuilding Joe and making him a credible threat to the world title again is going to be that hard. You let him destroy a few people, let him beat a couple of bigger name guys on the pay-per-view. Within 3 months, I can have him back ready, world title contention. He can win like a battle royal with his cronies helping him win, and he's back in the title picture. And him and AJ can do a very nice program over the world title of him trying to win that belt from AJ for 2 months, maybe even 3, and AJ having to deal with his cronies. It's not that hard. Alright then, this is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TJSMITH3. Have a nice day.